Well, I hate to say it, but restaurants are secretly charging hidden fees to their customers to try to get you to pay a little bit more for things like employee benefits, for the lights, for their health care, even for their water. It is getting ridiculous. But in today's video, I want to show you some examples of some hidden fees that you could possibly be paying. My guess is you've been to a restaurant recently and had to pay one of these fees and didn't even realize it. So, if you go to restaurants, you eat out, whether it's fast food or sit down, you need to watch this video in its entirety. But if you have any questions whatsoever, please ask your questions down in the comment section below. The one thing that I do ask is if you enjoy these daily updates, go ahead, hit that like button, and now let's begin. Look at this right here. It says, quiet time fee on restaurant bill sparks debate over sneaky tactics. Have you ever seen this? Ever? Okay? I want to read this to you. Look at this right here. It says, one user recounted visiting a new restaurant that seemed quiet, only to discover an unexpected 20% fee on their bill labeled quiet time surcharge. It's a surcharge. They're trying to get you to pay a little bit more for, well, pretty much their atmosphere. Is you come at this time, it is going to be quiet. You don't have screaming kids. You don't have loud adults. You don't have, dishes banging around in the kitchen. It is quiet. They're going to charge you for it. But it gets worse. Look at this.
If you don't notice this on your receipt in Las Vegas, you're going to end up paying more money than you need at restaurants. I'll tell you how to avoid it and give you another way to save thousands in Vegas. Because some restaurants, like Chayo right behind me here at the center of the strip, add a fee of about 5% onto your bill. But the server is not going to tell you up front. Instead, what the restaurant does is they put the writing in tiny print at the bottom of the menu, so you have to find it. And in order to get it removed, you have to check the printed receipt to notice the charge and then ask them to remove it, and then they will with no questions asked.
Interesting, right? Well, here's the thing. Many restaurants are doing tactics just like this, where they're going to charge you X amount of dollars or a certain percentage of your bill. And then guess what? They're going to ask you for a tip. But they ask you for a tip on top of the fee, the gratuity, everything else. It's absolutely insane. This is why many people are getting tired of going into restaurants. Getting tired of getting hit with an additional fee for this and for that. Listen to this comment though. Somebody wrote to me and said, and because I've done several videos on some of these fees, somebody wrote into me and said this, and I quote, "It's crazy to think that a restaurant will charge extra for a baby." Says, I ordered a full meal, not an all-you-can-eat meal, and I asked the waiter for an extra plate. I was going to share my meal with my 1-year-old child. On the bill, I noticed that I was charged $4 for an extra plate. But what is the extra plate for? But what's crazy is that this was just an empty extra plate. I had to put my own food on the plate. Has this happened to anybody else? Yeah. I've seen it several times where if you ask for additional plate, where I've never had to pay for it, but I asked for an additional plate for one of my kids, and they said, yeah, well, I can bring you that, but it would be $1. It would be $1 extra. I said, nah, forget it. And we pretty much just put a bunch of paper towels down, and that was that. But again, it was a mess. It would have been easier for the person to bring me a plate and for them to go back and clean it than for them to clean all the ketchup and everything that was now all over the table. But again, that's restaurants for you. Look at this one right here. Let me know your thoughts on this.
Attention Californians, before you pay any bill at a restaurant, you might want to focus in on a new fee that's becoming more popular, the living wage fee of 18%.
A living wage fee. Look at that. It says living wage fee of 18% added to each dine-in check. This fee goes directly to staff payroll and provides a living wage to our team. If you choose to tip, tips are pooled amongst the entire team. Okay.
This fee is dine-in only, and it goes directly to staff payroll and provides a living wages to the team.
Interesting. That is very interesting. I've seen this before, but I want to go back and show you one other thing. Okay? I want to show you this right here. Look at this. It says, this is the stuff that they ordered. A Reuben, fresh cut fries, Bob Jam Burger, fresh cut fries, living wage fee. Okay. Here's what I think is interesting. I have seen bills, I've seen receipts that if you want fresh fruit, it is an extra, I think it was like an extra $2 more if you want fresh fruit. But if you want fruit, a fruit cup, I can't remember, I think it was like a 50-cent increase or something like that. But if you want fresh, it was like an extra $2 for fresh. Are they frozen before? Again, I don't know. I want you to look at this one though. This is one I find is very interesting. Look at this bill right here.
There is an employee benefits fee on my receipt. That's not my responsibility. Pay attention.
They have an employee benefits line on their receipt right here for $12.81. Okay. So you are paying their employee benefits. Normally, you would just put it right into the bill. But here's what happens. People walk up to the restaurant or they look online and they see the menu. And they see the price. Okay, oh, that's a little expensive. You keep adding in all the fees right to the items, people stop coming in. But if you try to sneak it in the end, hopefully they don't see it, well, then you're good, right? You're good. They're not going to see it. You're perfect until people call you out on it. Yeah, that's the big issue. Let me play this one for you as well.
Restaurant service fees just reached peak dining scam when ordering takeout gets hit with a $27 service charge on a $38 meal. This is how restaurants are doubling your bill for zero actual service. A woman ordered pasta for pickup from a casual restaurant, paid online, and walked in to grab her bag from the counter. Total interaction time was under 2 minutes with no waiter, no table service, nothing. But her credit card showed $65 total. The restaurant had added an 18% kitchen appreciation fee, a 5% living wage surcharge, and a 3% operational support charge to her takeout order. When she called to complain, the manager explained that all orders now include mandatory service fees to help cover rising labor costs and maintain kitchen operations. Even takeout customers benefit from having a clean pickup area and properly prepared food. The kicker? These fees are becoming standard across the industry, with some restaurants charging up to 20% on top of menu prices for services customers never receive.
Yeah, that right there is something that, for me personally, it makes my blood boil. Here's the reason why. I have gone into several restaurants and tipped handsomely. And the issue is I get the food, take it home. I don't like using DoorDash. If I'm going to go somewhere or if I'm going to eat from some takeout place, I'll go grab it, bring it home myself. Or I'll send one of my kids to go get it and bring it home. But here's the interesting thing. Get it home and realize we're missing stuff. I just tipped you X amount, okay, more than I probably should have, and yet there's nothing there. We're missing, got to go back. And that's what's frustrating, is that this person just said they're gonna charge because they want to make sure that the pickup location's clean and your food is prepared properly. Well, what about when your food isn't there? What about that? But yet you just tipped. That's what's crazy. Here's another crazy one. I've actually seen in several different restaurants where they have a pickup fee. Because you're not dining in, which there's a good chance if you dine in, you're going to give a tip. If you don't dine in, you're probably not going to tip as much, or maybe no tip at all. So now they're putting in a pickup fee. A pickup fee. Interesting. This is why restaurants are going out of business. Okay, we're seeing right now that the American consumer is tapped out. They're struggling to pay their bills. They're struggling to buy food. They're struggling to just keep up with their everyday expenses. As a result, dining, especially eating out, it's one of the first things people cut. Look at this one as well.
Here's your bill. Thank you so much. What's this extra service charge? Was this gratuity or did I order the Screw Me special? Oh no, that's our service charge. It's 20% and it's added automatically. Ah, so that's not the tip? No, not exactly. Okay, so does it go to the staff or does it go to you? Partially. It gets shared and it covers some of the operational costs, whatever that means. So if I want to tip you, do I have to tip you on top of this? Yep, that is correct. Let me get this straight. I'm basically leaving an extra 30, 40%? For what exactly? Duh, for the privilege of eating out in Miami. Welcome to paradise, baby.
Yeah, it's about right. Now, I do want to read you a couple other ones. Here's one that's a comment somebody left me. They write, and I quote, "Has anybody ever been charged an outdoor dining fee?" I've seen this. I've never been to somewhere that they charged it to me personally, but I have seen it. I've seen it in Vegas. I've seen it in Mexico as well. I've seen somebody put that on there in, I think it was Mazatlan. But anyway, I have seen it. An outdoor dining fee. Think about that. You're eating outside, but they're going to charge you a fee for it. Here's another one. Listen to this one. This person says, and I quote, "If you think that is bad, my brother and I had to pay a 20% gratuity for a large party, even though there were only 2 of us. They said that we were," and in quotes, "slightly heavier than their average customer, which constitutes a large party. So if you're ever in Atlanta, go to blank and don't go to blank restaurant." I'm not gonna say the restaurant again, because I haven't seen any other comment other than this one regarding that specific restaurant. It is a bigger restaurant. It's not like a local one, but anyway, I thought that was insane, because they're slightly heavier than their average customer, which constitutes a large party. Their words exactly. That's absolutely insane. So again, that's what's happening all around the United States. We are seeing restaurants secretly charging hidden fees to try to get more money out of your pocket. Now let me know down in the comment section below. Have you ever been charged a hidden fee from a restaurant? If so, what was it for? If you want to leave the name of a restaurant, that's on you. But again, what was it for? I'm curious. But again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.